Yeah.
Beach or beaches?
I've always said beaches, but I know that that's passé because if you're from the beach, it's the beach. So,
okay.
As far as I know,
What
that was the latest that I heard anyway.
What, does it matter to you?
It's the latest on the street. Pardon me?
Does it matter to you?
Not at all.
I
like it down there though. If I were to live in the city, that's where, and some people may not consider that in the city, but that's where I would want to live because it's nice.
Because it's like crowded.
But it's got that kind of smaller town feel, and you can walk up and down. It just has, it's crowded, I know, but it has like, I don't know, it has a different feel, a different vibe.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Why?
I think they're pretentious.
Well.
Okay, yeah. Actually, you should go to the beach.
Thanks.
Okay. But you can go to the upper beaches, which is, I think, about Finch.
Yes.
So, anyways.
Of course, if you were going to go to the real beach,
yes.
I was just in Naples, Florida.
What? Naples. Oh, did you go there where all the beautiful people are?
Where all the beautiful, rich people are.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many Bentley dealerships. Actually, I've never seen a Bentley dealership in my life.
Right.
But there are many there, and Jaguar and everything else. It was pretty crazy.
So, Bentley only produced last year about 1,100 cars.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Down from 1,250.
I would say half of them are in Naples, Florida.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why would you want a Bentley? Like, what's that difference between that and, let's say, a Kia Soul?
Kia. Oh, Garth. Must we start from the bottom and build our way up? Please.
All right. You just sound a little bit like Joan Rivers there.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, Garth. Oh. All right. So the topics you came up with were sexuality, change in gender roles through the decades, women's place in society, women and men and money, hence the Bentley, balance and shift of income earning, shift in relationship power roles. What was wrong? What's going on in your life? Like,
I think it's going on in like not just mine, but a lot of people are going through stuff right now. I think in relationships, and there's just something in the world right now.
I have people are breaking up like crazy.
Well, they are, but I actually read something very interesting.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
Or at least it has to be interesting for me. You were interested, so why don't you say I read something that interested me?
I read something that I found particularly interesting last week,
okay. Yeah,
and it was on, I believe, Simpatico, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, it was talking about relationships and how part of what we're seeing now with people having multiple marriages and that kind of thing, more so than in history or at any time, any point in history, is because we're living longer, for one thing, and we're staying healthier longer. And so we're getting to a stage a little bit later, into our midlife crisis, whatever it is, where we trigger the need for the next phase. We've grown with one person, and whether or not we grow together with that person to the next phase in life or not, we don't know.
Can women like porn?
Can they? Are they allowed to?
Hang on, let me check. Can they?
Are they allowed to?
Can women like porn? Not from the studio audience? Yeah?
Traditionally, it's not the feminist thing to do.
Have you watched porn?
Have I? Of course.
Okay, hang on a second. Really?
Of course.
What kind of porn?
I've watched lots of different kinds of porn.
That's not very descriptive. Like, okay, is it like the 1970s porn where nothing happens?
No. We actually realized that my mother, we got into a conversation. I won't go into the whole...
You and your mom?
Myself, my mother, and my sister, who's 15 years younger. And trust me, 15 years, there's a big difference in how I grew up thinking about sex and how she did. Because I think school, everything is totally different how kids and young adults talk about sex now.
Okay, right.
So she's even more open than I was, or I think I am more so now. But we got into this conversation with my mom about porn, and won't get into the full description, but at a certain point...
Wait a minute.
No, not the boring stuff. Anyway,
okay.
I'll give you the good stuff, just not the boring stuff.
That's all guys want.
That's all.
All guys do is fast forward to the end.
Right, exactly. So
right, Paulie.
So the guy version of this is basically this: we are sitting down at dinner, and we've been talking about porn and the need for porn that's very specific to women. And my mom's right in there, and I feel that at some point aliens have abducted my mother and taken her away, because when I grew up with my mother, the person I remember as my mother, sex was not discussed in the home. It was like taboo. You just didn't go there. So I didn't know what a blowjob was until like high school. It was crazy.
I know a lot of married guys that don't know what that is.
Yeah, I bet.
Thank you.
So anyway, we sit down to dinner and we start talking, and then my sister says something about what happens in porn today, and my mother, mortified, is like, well, I don't want to see that. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, it's just simulated. It's not actual sex. And I said, pardon? What do you mean it's not actual sex? What do you think they're doing in porn?
She thinks she's like the
City TV Blue movie.
Blue movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it's just, and I said,
wow.
These days, Mom, that is Sex in the City. Like, that's what that, like, and she had no idea. So then she reverted back to...
You have to understand your mother's a lawyer, too.
Yes, she is. And a feminist at that. Mm-hmm. So we may or may not get her on board, but there you go. That's the whole debate.
So were you shocked at what your younger sister's version of what porn was acceptable? Like what was going on today?
Actually, I love the fact that that she has grown up in so much more of an open setting. I think that's awesome that it's now not as taboo as it was, and that you don't have to get to that place where you feel like, there's something wrong with you if you can enjoy it. So I think that's wonderful.